Let's be honest, most entrepreneurs don't sound bad. They just sound unforgettable, polished, neutral, safe. And safe doesn't sell. Today, we're talking about finding your brand voice so you can stop blending in like elevator music and start sounding like you, the version that people will want to work with. So, let's get into it. Here's the problem: too many entrepreneurs are stuck performing professionalism instead of communicating with intention. So we're so busy trying to sound legit that we erase the very thing that makes us relatable: our voice. And when your voice disappears, your message does too. Now, let's flip that. Your brand voice isn't something you invent. You don't wake up one day and decide to pick a personality off the shelf, even though sometimes, depending on, never mind. Anyway, your voice is something that your own. You already have it, it's there in you. It just needs permission to show up fully. So, I'm going to give you some steps on how to do that, how your voice can come out and be authentic without being fake and all the things. So, let's start with step number one. First step: stop performing professionalism. Yes, I know. Let me clarify that for you. Professional does not mean boring, stiff, personality free. In fact, your personality is what makes you professional, because you know why? It's you. That is your voice, that is your brand. Your audience doesn't want to hear buzzwords. They don't want to hear catchy jargon or anything like that. They want clarity. So when you drop the corporate mask and you speak like a real human, which is kind of hard for some people, but it's true. When you speak like a real human, your message instantly becomes stronger and more trustworthy. So that's one thing I want you to realize. You don't have to put on a mask, especially a corporate mask, in order to sound professional. You are your voice. Remember, your brand is you. So you just have to skip that trying to be professional part. So, number two, the second thing I want you to do is speak to one person. When you try to speak to everyone, no one feels seen. So, you have to remember to speak to that one person who you think will want your services. So, let's get more into that. When you speak to one specific person, clearly and intentionally, your message lands harder and stronger. So that's when the connection happens. So when you are on your platforms, like how you're talking with your friends and family, that's the approach you should be talking with on your platform to your audience. Be you, be the genuine, show the laughter, show the faces. But that's what your audience wants to see. So the third thing you need to do is let your experience lead. You don't need to sound like an expert because you are one. You are an expert. Your lived experience carries more weight than any borrowed language or comparison ever will. And don't compare yourself to others. As that saying goes, comparison is the thief of joy. It really is. You are you for a reason. Your voice is unique to you, and your audience will know that. So remember, you and your experience is what makes your brand unique. So I want you to keep remembering that. Your experience is what makes you unique. And the fourth and final step: stay consistent, not cookie cutter. Consistency builds trust. The more you show up, the more you're seen, the more your voice gets recognized. And sameness puts people to sleep. Not gonna not gonna lie. If you see the same thing over and over again, you see the same color schemes, whatever, you kind of like, oh well, it all looks the same, it's boring. But when you have someone who stands out like yourself, your voice should be recognizable and never robotic. And I want you to remember that throughout all your platforms. It should be you consistently throughout. So think of a signature style. You have that signature style because it's within you and it's not copy and paste content. So just remember that. Stay consistent, not cookie cutter. So, the bottom line to all this is your voice is one of your strongest business assets. And I believe I've told you that before. When you stop trying to sound like everyone else, the right people will finally start paying attention to you. So authenticity lives where clarity meets confidence. And let me say that again because I think I stumbled on my words. So here we go again. Authenticity lives where clarity meets confidence. And I want you to feel confident when you present yourself to people, when you go to networking events, or even in person or online. Remember, your voice carries weight. Your experiences carry weight. And if you're starting new, or if you're just you've been in the game for a while, just remember your voice is what people will recognize. So here's my challenge to you because you know we can't leave without a challenge. So, quick gut check. If someone were to hear you speak aloud, would they recognize you? Or when I say that, when they would they recognize you, would it be something that's comforting, lively, or would it be boring and stiff? So you have to really think about that. When you post something online, or if you're at a networking event, when people meet you and they see you, can the comparisons be the same, or is like, wow, your online persona and your real life persona do not match? So that's what I'm saying. Will there be consistency? So that's my gut chat to you. Let's talk about it in the comments. You can always catch me on the socials. You know where to find me. Jamila Adams at your service. And I look forward to hearing from you. I really want to get more in tune with you, build community. So until next week, I want you to be inspired, be inspiring, be encouraged, be encouraging. But most of all, I want you to be you. And I will check you out next week. And don't forget, you have a voice and continue to use it. Talk to you later.